In recent times, falling property prices in China have shaken the lives of countless families. With a rapid decline in home values, some people who once saw their properties as secure investments now face an overwhelming financial burden. Homeowners find themselves trapped in mortgages they can no longer manage, watching helplessly as the worth of their homes plummets beneath the weight of their debts. This financial strain is seeping into marriages, leading to a noticeable rise in divorce rates nationwide. Could it be that the once stable cornerstone of homeownership is now a primary reason why relationships are falling apart? But before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, China Fact. We really appreciate your support. Thank you so much. In Xi'an, a pregnant woman is left distraught, unable to cope with her property's drastic decline in value from 3.6 million to a mere 1.4 million yen. With her income cut short and the burden of her mortgage now heavier than ever, she fears losing her home and even facing debt beyond foreclosure. She said, "The stress is unbearable. It has drained me completely." Facing the imminent arrival of her child, she feels utterly unprepared for this blow. Another man confessed how these financial pressures have taken a toll on his marriage. "I argued with my wife about the mortgage payments today, and it turned into a serious fight," he explained. His wife's frustration with their financial difficulties led her to question his capabilities. Struggling to find stable work, he brings in just 3,000 to 4,000 yen a month, nowhere near enough to meet their expenses. Living has become incredibly tough, he admitted, mirroring a sentiment that resonates deeply in China's turbulent economy, where stagnant incomes and heavy loan repayments often drive couples to breaking point. In conversations like, "Have you paid the mortgage?" or "What about the car loan?" couples are constantly reminded of their accumulating debts. One spouse's resignation to the situation "we'll manage" is countered by her partner's despair. "How can we like this?" Conversations like these circulate widely on social media, with many couples voicing frustrations over home values plummeting while debt remains high. With Weibo discussions on divorces linked to falling home prices, one commenter summed up the situation: "People marry for houses, and now they're divorcing because of them. They owe more than their homes are worth." The disparity between asset values and debt burdens leaves many owners with little more than their initial down payment, as banks only adjust interest rates modestly, leaving outstanding loans largely intact. The absence of concrete data linking mortgage stress and divorces doesn't mask its impact, particularly for families who took on substantial debt post-2017. The need to secure a home often meant relying on loans that left marriages financially precarious. When a family's stability rests on a fragile housing market, how can the bond between spouses remain resilient? As housing prices soar, so do concerns about family planning, with many questioning how they can afford children under such financial constraints. Publications across China report on this crisis, with some suggesting that the first wave of divorces linked to falling home values has begun. For example, Lin Hua, an office worker in Shanghai, decided to divorce her husband Jian Ming after years of financial strain. "I wasn't the first in my circle to divorce because of falling house prices, but I never thought it would happen to me," she lamented. They had purchased a 4 million yuan apartment in the Putuo district, financing 2.5 million yuan through a bank loan, believing their combined incomes would cover the payments. However, when Jian Ming's income dropped to 5,000 yuan a month due to economic downturns, they struggled to pay their 12,000 yuan mortgage alongside living expenses. After many sleepless nights, Jian Ming suggested selling the apartment and moving in with his parents. Shocked, Lin Hua realized he wanted to escape responsibility rather than fight for their marriage. Ultimately, they sold the apartment for 3.2 million yuan and split the remaining funds, each walking away with around 350,000 yuan. Now, at 36, Lin Hua feels a mix of relief and emptiness. Though she has lost her home and marriage, she looks forward to starting anew without the burden of a failing relationship. Moreover, Feng Yu's experience parallels Lin Hua's, as her divorce was also spurred by declining property values. "We thought we made a wise investment buying our apartment, but now it feels like we wasted our money," she lamented. Feng and her husband bought their apartment in early 2022, expecting a booming market, but prices soon fell, putting them in a tough financial spot. What started as excitement over their investment turned into stress for Feng as financial pressures grew. "What I thought was a smart choice has become a constant source of anxiety," she shared. Rising living costs and stagnant wages heightened their conflicts, ultimately leading to divorce. Discussions about finances often ended in arguments, and as they struggled with their devalued asset, they chose to end their marriage. Recent statistics reveal that economic strain and real estate market volatility are increasingly driving up divorce rates in China, a trend that shows no signs of slowing. Another individual, La Jin, recounts a similar marital strain stemming from an unfortunate property investment. He and his wife bought a resale apartment during a housing peak in 2021, only to find it filled with the previous owner's furniture, contrary to what they were promised. Initially resistant to the purchase due to high local property prices, La Jin only proceeded after his wife insisted, even threatening divorce if he refused. "Every time I resisted, she claimed she'd never be happy with me without a house," he explained, weary of the mounting financial and marital tension. In a city where the average monthly income is around 3,000 yen, property prices soar above 10,000 yen per square meter, leaving many families struggling to afford homes. Lei Jin, a former successful shop owner, used over 600,000 yen to buy an apartment, only to be hit hard by the pandemic, which drained his business and left him barely covering living expenses. With his wife facing salary cuts at the bank, they are worried about their two sons, especially with private school looming for their older child. La Jin lamented, "I wanted to sell last year, but there haven't been any buyers." As housing prices continue to drop, newer developments are lowering their prices, making older properties almost unsellable. Arguments with his wife often revolve around their financial struggles, with mounting costs adding tension to their relationship. Eventually, the strain led to their divorce. Current data shows property values nationwide have dropped over 5% year over year in most cities, with little hope for recovery. A real estate agent revealed that some couples are opting for divorce as a strategy to manage debt, allowing one partner to take on the mortgage while the other leaves with no assets. Potential buyers of foreclosed homes often hear about long-term residents refusing to vacate, which can lead to lower auction prices. In such cases, the remaining partner can buy back the home at a reduced rate, allowing the family to stay put while navigating their financial challenges. As home prices continue to fall in China, a troubling trend has emerged: rising divorce rates. Typically, women initiate these separations to divide assets, but the dynamics often shift, allowing men to regain ownership through strategic financial moves. By arranging for children to have permanent residence rights, homes become less appealing to buyers, leading to significant drops in market value. Ultimately, women repurchase the properties at much lower prices, securing both cash and ownership. Is this clever exploitation of the system, or does it reveal deeper societal greed? These so-called debt-reducing divorces illustrate how individuals navigate the complexities of an economic landscape shaped by government policies. Over the years, Chinese authorities have used real estate speculation to absorb citizens' savings, prompting families to devise strategies for protecting their assets amid turmoil. Homeowners are increasingly turning the tables on banks, reflecting a broader issue. The government appears trapped in an economic predicament of its own making. As divorce rates rise and marriage rates decline, the Ministry of Civil Affairs made headlines on October 23rd, proposing marriage registration offices in parks and other inviting venues. There are now over 270 such sites across the nation. Additionally, the ministry plans to introduce a pilot program for cross-provincial marriage registration, allowing couples to register without returning to their registered households. By September 2024, 21 provinces had adopted this new policy, which has impacted around 80% of the population, leading to 416,000 couples registering their marriages across provincial lines. Despite the intention behind this initiative, it has sparked ridicule online. One commenter quipped, "They must be eager to encourage marriage. Why not offer registration at supermarkets and throw in free marriage certificates with every pack of eggs?" This humor reflects the sentiment among many young people in China, who see marriage, starting a family, buying a home, and even acquiring a car as daunting pressures that complicate their future plans. China has seen a steady decline in marriage rates over the past 9 years. An analysis from December 28, 2023, highlighted that by 2022, the unmarried rate among individuals aged 25 to 29 reached 51%, with rates of 18% for those aged 30 to 34 and 8% for those aged 35 to 39. This topic has sparked considerable discussion on Weibo, amassing over 200 million views, with users speculating that this trend will continue. Surveys show that many young people are reluctant to have children, primarily due to the pressures of the Chinese education system. Increasingly, urban women are enjoying financial independence and pursuing higher education, which lessens the economic urgency of marriage. Conversely, men often point to the financial strain of marriage, made worse by societal expectations to own a home and a car before entering into relationships. The sluggish economy in the wake of the pandemic, characterized by a downturn in the real estate market, local government debt, and high youth unemployment, has contributed to a bleak outlook on the future in marriage among the younger generation. Economic analysts express doubt about a potential recovery in China, predicting that growth may fall short of 2023 levels. The ongoing slump in the housing market and stagnant consumer spending are expected to continue into the first half of 2024. In 2023, only 3.4 million couples registered to marry in China, marking the lowest figure since 1986. With nearly 2 million registrations in the first quarter, 178,000 fewer than during the same period in 2023. In response to these declining marriage rates, local governments have introduced various incentives. For example, a policy in Changshan County offers newlywed couples 1,000 yuan if the bride is under 25. However, these incentives have failed to sway many young people toward marriage. A well-known tech blogger with over 500,000 followers captured the public sentiment by stating, "If marriage were genuinely appealing, would anyone need persuasion? If there's cash lying around, who wouldn't pick it up?" The Chinese economy has been grappling with significant challenges, particularly since 2020, when government policies adversely affected the real estate market. Reforms initiated in that year led to the downfall of numerous property developers who lost access to bank loans, placing local governments reliant on land sales in dire financial straits. Moreover, strict zero-COVID lockdowns added further strain to local economies, while crackdowns on private enterprises limited investment opportunities and job prospects for graduates. By 2023, home sales had dropped by 24%. The producer price index had declined for 2 consecutive years, and the consumer price index was nearing deflation. The situation continues to deteriorate, characterized by an increasing number of vacant apartments, rising youth unemployment, and stagnant wages. This environment has made businesses wary of investing, consumers hesitant to spend, and local governments struggling to provide basic services. Manufacturing has been in deflation for 2 years, and a surprising drop in exports further illustrates the economic challenges the government faces. As Wall Street Journal columnist Walter Russell Mead remarked, China's unwavering commitment to an export-driven manufacturing model has pushed it toward diminishing domestic returns and escalating international tensions. Additionally, the rising divorce rate in China underscores the housing crisis's impact and indicates that deeper social issues may be on the horizon. The recent decline in property values, coupled with increasing divorce rates, raises concerns about the future of family stability in China. In a society where homeownership was once seen as an ideal, it now appears to be a double-edged sword, leaving many families questioning their ability to maintain their marriages as they navigate these tumultuous economic conditions. Finally, if you enjoy insightful content about China, subscribe to our channel, China Fact. Please like and share this video with friends. Thank you for your support.